was talking last night about the Hall of Fame and how every year is just a little bit different. There's always something that's unique about our ceremony. This year, it's the first year we've had two international inductees, if you will, because we've had two of our inductees come from out of the country to be here with us. And considering how we're talking about athletic achievement, the phrase records are made to be broken, I feel pretty confident that there's a record that we will never have broken. It'll be the amount of miles that all of our inductees have done to come here, particularly with Scoochie coming straight from Europe after a game on Wednesday to be here today with us. So, before we get started, I'd like to introduce a couple people who will not be here at the podium, but are very important to what we're doing today. Two members of our Hall of Fame committee who are with us. One, our university and faculty representative on the committee, Pat Donnelly, is with us this morning. Thank you for being here, Pat. And the other gentleman I'd like to introduce is Ron Flory, who is the varsity D rep on our committee. Ron was a member of our 1980 national championship team and is a member of the Hall of Fame. But Ron, thanks for being here, and thanks for everything the varsity D club does for us. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my boss and the person who had the great idea of having this ceremony here rather than trying to do it at the arena with everything else going on a game day. But in order to congratulate our inductees on behalf of the university, it's my pleasure to introduce our Vice President and Director of Athletics, Neil Sullivan.
Thanks, Doug. My role here today is twofold. One, I represent the university and all that stands behind it in thanking our honorees and our inductees for all you've contributed to the university. And this is a worthwhile award for you. If Coach Kelly over the years has done the math on the football side, the number of players, the number of years, and how few are in the Hall of Fame. And really what that is, it's the 1% of the 1%. And I hope you feel that, and I hope that you acknowledge that. And my job as athletic director is to try to steward our athletic department through multiple generations and multiple phases, because we all stand on the shoulders of the athletes that came before us, and people are going to stand on your shoulders and are currently of the paths that you've paved. And as I've been doing this for a while, I end up standing up here inducting and welcoming people to the Hall of Fame that I know. When I first started this, I didn't know. I just had to read something in a record book, and I was very impressed by what I read. But as I've gotten older, which says a lot about me, I got to watch. I didn't get to watch Zach, but it was interesting, and Zach's humility. I've known him for many years. He's an active alum, and I knew he was a good football player, but I didn't know he was a Hall of Fame level football player because he didn't mention that to me, right? That speaks a lot about him. But our other inductees, I watched, and I might have been the person that told you what you could and couldn't do back then from a compliance perspective. But it's a real treat for me to do that. And so when I can lay eyes on it and I can vouch for the contributions that you made, it's a little more special for me than just reading it from a book. Doug mentioned the Hall of Fame committee. I just want to make sure Doug is the chair of that. I want to thank Doug and Tricia in the back helped set all this up. But the Hall of Fame, just to give you an idea, I keep myself entirely removed from the process, because that's how bad people want to be in the Hall of Fame. I've had people call and offer me $1 million donation to get in the Hall of Fame, right? Hey, what if my family contribute this? Could I get in? I said, we don't roll like that. We don't roll. 10 million maybe, we'll think about it. But we don't do that. And it's a real treat for me to be able to have that be a separate process. So when people come in and say, hey, we have a committee for that, and I'm not lobbied and I'm not for sale, and they have a hard job. They have a hard job. But if you think about the number of people that want to be in the Hall of Fame and think they're deserving, for you to be sitting here today and your families, from the bottom of my heart, please know how hard that is, and you should really, really believe that and feel that. So on behalf of the entire University of Dayton, I welcome you to the club, and look forward to seeing you out on the court at the arena. I'm going to shift gears a little bit to our first inductee, I'm going to present Scoochie. I kind of got the pleasure in 2012 when he committed, and I was confused there for a while because people would say, is Deshaun's transcripts in, or is Scoochie? I said, who's Deshaun, who's Scoochie? Like, it's the same person. And I said, well, because, everything, the NCAA clearinghouse doesn't work on Scoochie, and the addresses and the transcripts don't work on Scoochie. So I'm confusing, like, are these the same people or are they not the same people? So ultimately, not too many people know him as Deshaun, but I had the pleasure of doing that when he was just 17 or 18-year-old at Putnam Science Academy. From up there, so I remember that. I remember that too. We had a great run under Scoochie's team, the winningest four-year class in UD basketball history. And I think all of you that come up here, you will all acknowledge that sports is a team game, right? I've never had someone come up here and say, "Boy, I did this all by myself," right? They have teammates that block for them, pass for them, whatever it is. But we know that every great team, every great organization needs a leader, needs a quarterback, needs a point guard, needs someone that is the tip of that spear. And that was Scoochie on an unbelievable teams that made 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments, an Elite 8, and I think Scoochie had 100 career starts in his career. But he was the quarterback. He was the point guard. He was the calm presence. He was, in fact, when I remember recruiting him, Archie said he was a pass-first point guard. And I said, well, can he score? He's like, well, he's pass-first. Well, he was more than pass-first point guard. But if you remember watching him, it was smooth at all times, under control, smooth, calm, collected, and when things would get tight, he was the presence, he was the leader, he was the glue of that team. And that's no disrespect to any of his teammates. But that's what he was. And to watch him come in as a young, was a young scrawny freshman, right? And to leave what he was and what he did. And, we're in a period in college sports that's very transactional, right? Kids come and go, NIL, portal, what have you. And it's very refreshing that his whole family, and of course, we'll see Mally play later today, but his whole family was all in on Dayton. Right? They were all in on Dayton. And they're still all in on Dayton. And that's something that at UD that I hope that we never lose. Even as kids come and go, that we can have families all in. The Benjamin family, I got to know them when they were here. And we just talked, we were down in Wake Forest to watch the first ever men's tennis player in the NCAA tournament from Dayton. So we are about family, we are about people. And the last thing I'll say is in New York, I used to have to lie at what time the game was so they get there on time. I'd say if the game was at 7 o'clock, I'd say it starts at 5. And Scoochie's grandma would come in and wear a shirt bedazzled that said, "I'm Scoochie's grandma." That's what the shirt said. But Scooch, it's a real pleasure and honor to induct you as we welcome you up here. And you are the leader of just a great era of college basketball. And I was proud to be able to watch it, and I'm proud to call you a friend now. So come on up and congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Just want to say thank you to God first for allowing me to get here, safely, and being around all this legendary talent in the athletic department and all these legendary people here, support systems. Thank you to my family. Thank you to the committee for even allowing me to be here today, and just thank you to the whole University of Dayton community. You guys been opening with big arms to me, my family, like Neil said. Everything's been great. We come back every year. We enjoy it. We love being here throughout the summer. Me and my younger brothers run the basketball camp, so we get to be a little more cohesive with the community here and stay and do that every year. So it's lovely, but it just means a lot to even be in the Hall of Fame, man. And to be the first person up here to be able to speak, it's a little nerve-wracking a little bit. But I'll ease the pain for everybody else, That's my job, as Neil said, keep everyone calm. So, but just growing up, coming from high school, coming from Putnam, Coming from the Bronx, going to Dayton is just a different perspective on life, on people, and being able to see everything and, you know, soak it all in. It's just been wonderful. Never even thought about being here today, being in the Hall of Fame. I was just a kid with Cal and Kendall coming to Dayton just trying to win basketball games, and, you know, we put our footprint on the university and the athletic team and everything, and just being able to do that, it was a pleasure and an honor. So I say thank you to everybody.
Our next presenter was referenced by Neil earlier, a Hall of Famer in his own right, not only at the University of Dayton, but also the National Football Foundation's College Football Hall of Fame, Mike Kelly.
Thank you, Doug. First of all, I would like to congratulate our inductees. Jordan, I don't know anything about tennis, but I sure did enjoy watching you play. Our two soccer ladies, heck, I'll tell you what, Mike, there's no reason you couldn't win with that talent. My gosh, congratulations. And Scoochie, obviously, congratulations. We've watched you and family and down through the years. It's quite an honor. You know, you make us all proud because you're all quality student athletes. You make your families proud. You make the University of Dayton proud. I sat on that committee, selection committee, and as Neil indicated, it is a challenge. It's a major, major challenge. And you should all be very, very proud of what you have done. Zach Klein. Woo! Woo! Now settle down, Mama. Okay. All right. You know, seldom do offensive linemen in football ever receive these types of honors. Very seldom. It's usually the quarterback that throws for all the yards, or the running back that runs and scores a lot of touchdowns, or that wide receiver that makes all those great, great catches. You know, it's never those big uglies that get recognized. I'm sorry, Mama Klein. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. And he's not that ugly, really. Boys, if you call your dad ugly, you're going to be in trouble because he can still outrun you. I bet you that. I bet you that. But he's the one of the ones, along with a couple of his teammates that are here, that blocked and protected those quarterbacks. And it's so easy to overlook their talents. 3 years a starter for us at tackle. 3 years, the 3 years that he was starter, we won the Pioneer Football Conference champions. We were the champions. Those 3 years, those teams were 28-3 in those 3 years. He was two times he was PFL, Pioneer Football League recognition, made the All-PFL team. 2 years he was selected to the All-American team. Postgraduate, he was selected to play in the National College and University All-Star game, which I don't think exists anymore. I don't think it does. Quite an honor. Coach Smers, his position coach, is with us today. And Coach, he was our offensive line coach, and he's a little tiny guy, and he had to coach these great big honkers. I don't know how you they pound on you, buddy. Yeah. But I asked Coach Smers, I said, tell me about Zach. Tell me, what do you mean? Cerebral. Right here. Always had the game plan locked in. Not only his position, but he knew the tight end's position. He knew them all. He knew all those spots. Very, very physical and fast. He could actually, honest to God, he could outrun some of our running backs. What'd you play at, about 280? 285. Very, very fast. He dominated the offensive line. Zach continued his career as a high school coach and a high school administrator here in the Dayton area. And he also finds time to give back to the university. He is our varsity D president now. He worked his way up through it, but he's our varsity D president. And I ask all of you that are not members of that, you ought to join that club. You know, it's a pretty nice club. You should be part of that. So, Zachary Klein, welcome. There you go.
Thanks, Coach. Put this down before I break it. All right. Good morning, fellow Flyers. What an incredible moment. Congratulations to my fellow Hall of Fame inductees. I read your bios, and impressive is an understatement. I'm quite honored to be here. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife. You inspire me every day. I want to thank my boys. And one of the things I talk about with my own kids is you got to find your group. You got to find your people. And whether it's baseball, wrestling, football, or underwater BB stacking, I pray that you find those people. I was able to find mine in football. So surround yourself, men, with high quality people. To everyone here today, thank you for celebrating with me and teaching me lessons that shape my journey. Grit, toughness, self-belief, passion, and proof that anything is possible. As a lineman, we know one thing for sure, that nothing happens on our own. So thank you to my teammates, to my coaches, to everybody involved. And if you ever see a lineman standing by himself during a football game, something has gone horribly wrong. So I'm going to break tradition, and I'm actually going to invite people to stand with me. So Bill Schmidt, my roommate, on again, off again. We spent 2 junior years together because the first one didn't actually count. So we had to go 5 years at UD. Bill, you woke up for ROTC, you went to class, you went to football practice, you went to work, you studied, took a nap, and did all that over again. To say the word grit with you is an understatement. You are the most mentally strong person I've ever met. And I thank you for that. It still inspires me today. Doug Kraus, you didn't have to. He was a couple years older than us, but you took me under your wing. You showed me what it meant to be a Flyer. I still wear the scars literally on my face from our full contact drills we would do all summer. Broken hands. I got a nose anyway. Doug, you taught me toughness and showed me how to put offensive and offensive tackle. You put me on this path that led me here today, and I'm forever grateful. So as I look back on this, I brought 2 defensive guys up here first, and I can't believe I did that. So Matt Stangl, the Zuli Award winner. If you don't know what that is, that's the highest award in football. Your positivity is unmatched. No matter what the obstacle was, you overcame it. You had it face on. You taught me the power of attacking challenges with a positive attitude. And that mindset carried me through my football career. It carries me through today. Thank you. Coach Smurs, you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So sophomore year, we're playing Georgetown, at Georgetown. Second play of the game, I give up a sack. We fumble, they score. And he runs over to me with his hair on fire, and I am ready to get my rear end chewed off. Instead of doing that, you built me up, told me that the team needed me, and put me back in. You did rip my rear end on Monday, so I didn't get away from it. But that belief in me and that confidence transformed literally my career. Thank you. Coach Kelly. Come on. Come on. You are more than a coach. You're a father figure to all of us, to generations of Flyers. There are so many stories I could tell about when I played. Look careful as a ball. When I played, but my favorite one was your passion and the way you loved what you did. And it was after I was done playing. We're at the Besh Lounge before a UD basketball game, and you're in a three-piece suit all dressed up, and you're talking to everybody. And my boys, 3 and 5 at the time, had to go to the bathroom. And they were gone for like 20 minutes. And I was sure they had them tied up somewhere. So I went to look for them, and I turned the corner, and they're in a full-blown big-time wrestling match on the ground. And it was awesome. And your passion and your approach to everything you did is the way that I'd like to approach everything I do. Mom. You're a single mom who showed me that anything is possible. You never missed a game, and I'm sure you snuck even to a few practices. I called you freshman year because I was struggling, and you hang up on me. And I called back, and you hung up again. The message was, stick it out, you can do this. Your impact on the team and every team I've ever been on is impressive. And everybody, including Tony, still talks about your cookies.
I've got some for this afternoon.
I'm sure you do. Pound of butter in every dozen. In fact, the only award that any Klein won my senior year was my mom, along with Mama Schmidt, with the Cookie Queen Awards. So thank you, Mom, for being my rock and my inspiration. Now that I'm surrounded by my people, I feel a little more comfortable. To my boys, my prayer for you is that you find people like this. I couldn't have done it on my own. Only the good Lord could have put these people in my life. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment, and go Flyers.
I referenced members of the Hall of Fame committee who would not be up here. Now I can reference one who is going to be up here. Mike Tucker is our next presenter. He is not only a member of the UD Athletic Hall of Fame, but he is also a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame committee. Mike knows UD athletics inside and out. He's not just a soccer coach, he's a Flyer through and through. And we're glad that he's on the committee, and we're glad he's with us today. Mike?
Thanks, Doug. And again, congratulations to the amazing people being inducted into the Hall today. All extremely worthy. So I am always thrilled to be able to stand up here and talk about one of my former soccer players. And I coached many wonderful players. Some reach way up here. That's the Hall of Famers. Okay, so I'm going to go back about 15 years ago or so, making a recruiting visit up to the Toronto area. And Mark, you told me that was Winston Churchill Road, I think, that you lived on back then. Recruiting one of the young ladies that's going to be honored here today. And fortunately, we down the line got her to commit to being a UD Flyer. And in the course of some conversation, she said, "Hey, do you know my best friend, Ashley?" And I said, "No, I don't think I do." Well, I followed up on her lead and went down to Orlando, Florida, and watched this young lady play, and it was like, oh my God, I hope nobody else is seeing her game because she's the real deal. So another conversation with Nicole, and Ashley, during that phone conversation, got on and committed to being a Dayton Flyer. And I don't know, Brian, did I do cartwheels across the floor when I got word that we were going to have these two players? So that table right over there sure as heck helped me be a Hall of Famer. The amount of success I had was directly commensurate with what they contributed to the soccer program. Now you can look in the little guide that you have there, and you see that Ashley Campbell was our all-time leading scorer. 63 career goals is pretty amazing. It certainly didn't happen on her own, of course, the team game. So I went back and started looking at some of our game reports. And it was interesting because I kept seeing Ashley Campbell goal, Ashley Campbell goal, Nicole Waters assist, Nicole Waters assist. So it is so pleasing to see the two of them come into the Hall of Fame together, because being best friends and then coming here and do what they did together is not coincidental, I don't think. So very cool. Those 63 goals weren't just scored against Little Sisters of the Poor. We had a schedule that included almost, our non-conference schedule was almost entirely big name D1 programs. And those goals were scored not only against those kind of programs, but also in A10 tournament action as well. I can go back, I think the largest crowd that we ever have had at Beaujean Field for a soccer match was in Ashley and Nicole's freshman year. And with about 2,800 people there on national television, won one game, second overtime. Somehow I wasn't smart enough prior to that to get Ashley back in the game after subbing her out. But something made me put her in those last 2 minutes, and sure enough, she scores the game winner with less than a minute to go on national television. Big time performance. Playing Wright State, our big rival out there, and they get up for that game like crazy in sophomore year. And again, we go into the last couple minutes of that game tied. They have a great goalkeeper, and out of nowhere, here comes a 40-yard rocket off of Ashley's feet and beat their keeper. We win that game and go home happy. Then we go down to junior year, early in the year, Texas A&M, top 5 program in the country. And I wish I could say we won that game. We lost that game 4-3 on a late goal by them. But the 3 goals in that game, one by Ashley, 2 by Nicole, assist, the whole thing there. And afterwards, I think everybody in the country knew who those 2 were. Word gets around quick, for sure. Went back and spoke to a number of the young ladies' teammates and coaches, and a couple of the things that they brought out to me was that we played 13 A10 tournament matches during their career, and in those Ashley scored 12 goals and had 4 assists, so responsible for 16 goals. Just amazing. Her former teammates referred to her, of course, as super athletic, a great finisher, which we all knew. Some of the stuff I didn't know was a great locker room presence, a mentor. A couple of them said, you know what, my freshman year she grabbed me and pulled me aside when I didn't think I could play at all, and gave me the assurance that not only could I play, but that they were going to count on me. So that was really good to hear. They referred to her as quiet, but immensely determined and having fun. I think that's a pretty good recipe for success right there in any sport. Past coaches mentioned how she was always prepared, how she took good care of herself to be ready, was brave, and a gamer. I don't care what the sport is. You're called a gamer, you got the team following you, right? So in all of that, I would most definitely concur. So again, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank that table for helping me have success, and for certainly doing it the UD way. So, Coach, you said it. We're proud of you guys, proud of all of you here, and proud that you two stuck with it and supported me as a UD Flyer. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up our Hall of Famer, Ashley Campbell.
Good morning. I first want to start by saying a very massive thank you to Doug and the committee for putting this together and all the hard work behind the scenes to make us feel so special. Thank you, Coach Tucker, for that wonderful speech. Thank you for believing in me and seeing my greatness as just a teen, and for trusting me with such an important role on the UD squad at that time. Congratulations to all my fellow inductees. You did it, we did it, and I feel like we're always Hall of Famers in the eyes of the people that love us, but now it's official. As an athlete who has dedicated most of her life to my sport, I can't tell you how much this moment means to me. As I reflect on all the trials and tribulations that I've gone through, I have to say this is truly one of the greatest honors of my life. I'm now 30 years young, and I love the sport more than ever still. I want to thank my mommy, my rock. Thank you for everything you did, all the sacrifices that you made in order to allow me to play the sport that I love at such a high level. Thank you to my dad. He's not here with us today, but one of the biggest hearts that I know. And a little story, junior year, championship game at Beaujon Field here of the A10 championship. I actually got very injured. I hurt my ankle, went down. We won the game, but I couldn't celebrate with my team because I was on crutches. And my dad came over from the crowd, put me on his back, and carried me over to the crowd so that I could celebrate with my teammates and the crowd. And I just have really amazing parents, so thank you both for supporting me. Thank you to my brother, Jesse, and my sister, Alexis, for supporting me, even through getting dragged to all my tournaments, all my early practices and games. Thank you to my boyfriend, Dane. I know you weren't here at Dayton to see the come up, but you have supported my love for the game, and I'm really grateful that you get to be here to celebrate this moment with me. My first visit to Dayton, we had a very old change room. The change room was very run down. I think metal lockers, kind of something that you'd see at an old gym. And I think it was our sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken, or halfway into our freshman year, we got to have this brand new locker room, which was just beautiful, brand new. And it's just been really nice to see the development of the school and the program, and to be a part of that and to see it continue developing. So I reflect on that moment a lot. I had the time of my life playing at UD. I'm so grateful for it. Anytime anybody asks me, oh, is it worth it going to America to play? Like, should I do it? Should I stay here? I said, absolutely, it's worth it. It was worth every single moment, the highs, the lows. I made a family at UD, and I loved it there so, so much to this day. I also want to say thank you to Nicole. My teammate and my best friend. We lived together, roomed together, took the same major. It felt like we spent every waking moment together, sometimes fought like sisters. But what a privilege it was to play with you all those years. You are the Messi to my Neymar, and I would have not scored half the goals that I have without you. So thank you, and I'm so grateful for you. And I can be at peace knowing that we've accomplished something unbelievable together. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and for, again, to my family for supporting me. I'll always be a Flyer, go Flyers, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Our last two presenters have inducted or have been part of the Hall of Fame induction of many of their players. Our next presenter is happily being part of his first player, but that doesn't make him any less proud than Mike Kelly or Mike Tucker. To introduce our next Hall of Famer, our current head coach, Ryan Meyer.
Good morning. Congratulations to everyone on their inductions today. I get the honor of introducing Jordan. He called me and asked me, Coach, I'd really love you to introduce me. And I was like, all right, what am I going to talk about? Am I going to talk about, playing half the season with a broken hand, figuring a way to get through it, still win matches? Am I going to talk about the national ranking, NCAA's multi-time player of the year? And, when I sat back and thought about it, I think everyone can probably agree with this, that it's funny how everything happens for a reason. With Jordan, the story I'll tell you is with his recruiting, I'd been trying to get a hold of this kid for 6 months. I mean, I'd tried every single thing I could just to gain any sort of attention. And I go to this tournament to watch Carson Fisher, another player of ours, play. And his father comes up and says, there's this kid here, you got to go talk to him. His name's Jordan Benjamin. I was like, oh, glad, finally, I get to have a conversation here, right? And his mother, Kay, who's in the back here, we had a quick talk, and I said, okay, I've been trying to get in touch for months now. And she said, well, we'll talk after he's done. So she comes back and says, Coach, I'm so sorry. We've got 10 or 12 emails in our spam account. We will figure out what we got to do to come up and see Dayton. And, from that moment on, it just seemed like it was meant to be. I'm a firm believer everything in life happens for a reason. And, because of that, we were able to get Jordan on campus. He had to pick between us and basically any school he wanted to go to in this country. And it took a lot for you, Jordan, to pick the University of Dayton. We were a team building at that point. And we needed someone to come in, be a leader, to be our point guard, to be our Scoochie. And to say you did that is a complete understatement. I'm so incredibly proud to have coached you, to know you, to see the man you've become. And I will forever be grateful that you were part of this program. We talk about you every single day at practice. And you are the benchmark that everyone's chasing. So without further ado, Jordan Benjamin.
Good morning. Good morning. So I'm extremely thankful and honored to be a part of the class of 2025. Hall of Fame induction. I want to start by thanking God because through him, all things are possible. Thank you to my family for believing in me and supporting me. To my mom and dad, Kay and Jim Benjamin, who are back there. Thank you for introducing me to the game that has shaped my life and providing me the opportunity to play the game all over the country and all over the world. You guys have been with me every step of the way, from local Grand Prix to playing professional tournaments in Rochester. So thank you for teaching me that education is a top priority, instilling hard work, focus, and commitment in my siblings and I. To my twin sister, Christina Benjamin, sitting back there as well. Thank you for being there from the beginning, literally from the beginning. Thank you for choosing to share the collegiate experience with me at UD. Right? You have many other places you could have went to, but there's no other way to do it than to be together. The many practices and matches that we had, they all paid off. And we quit a lot of those against each other. You've always been the person that I played best in front of, so thank you for that. My brother, Jonathan Benjamin, who couldn't be here today, I thank him for teaching me how to be a leader, a great teammate, and showing me self-belief. Thank you to my grandfather, who's also sitting back there, for all the support over the years. Thank you to my girlfriend, Christina Wozniak, who continues to inspire me today. We train every day, helping her with her professional career. Thank you. Jenna, Sonia, thank you for making the trip. 8 hours wasn't easy, but we made it here safely. It does truly take a village to get to this point today, so I thank all of you back there. To all my coaches, teammates, trainers, strength and conditioning staff, Coach Ryan Meyer, we're in the Hall of Fame. He took a chance on me and shared unforgettable memories, the likes of NCAA, regionals, A-10 tournaments, All-Americans, and being a volunteer hitting partner at the Western and Southern Open with many professional tennis players. He's always treated me like family and found ways to get the best out of me. Thank you, Coach. Kurt Kopp, Dave Strebel, John Goldsmith, Marcus Fugate, Billy Nealon, Jason Stevens, Marvin Dent, and many others. Thank you for teaching me the game and helping me become the player that I am to this day. Nate Seymour, for repairing my body from numerous injuries and being there for the team. All of these people have a special place in my heart, and I love all of you. Lastly, thank you to the university for recognizing my career. Dayton will always have a special place in my heart and a place that I can call home. Without my support team, none of this would be possible. And I'm hopeful that my career will inspire the next generation of tennis players to strive for greatness and relentlessly pursue their dreams and goals. Go UD.
We've had head coaches for the last 3 Hall of Famers. Anyone who knows our next presenter would consider him a future head coach. A member of Mike Tucker's staff when he was here at Dayton, currently on the staff at Ohio State University. It's my pleasure to introduce Brian Jankowski.
Was told 2 things. 1, this is not a roast, and you have 3 minutes. So here we go. 3 minutes, or the guys at table 1 here sort me out. So I'll be brief. So, as Doug said, I was on Mike Tucker's staff here from 2012 to 2016, which meant I had a front row seat in the career of both Nicole and Ashley. So influential were these players that when we would work on our non-conference scheduling, what was it? I think the quote was, "Yeah, we'll play you as soon as those Canadians graduate." How do you make the UD Hall of Fame? For me, it's simple. Nicole, plain and simple, always showed up, whether it was in a friendship role, a leadership role. I don't think you missed a training session in 4 years. Whether it was Thursday night at Tim's. I don't know what that means. I was just told to say that.
Don't tell Toby.
Yeah, no problem. But Nicole was always available, and as Mike Tucker pointed out, he was a guy who was not afraid. At Dayton, we were not afraid to go toe-to-toe with anyone in the country, anytime, anywhere. So some of Nicole's points and goals, assists and goals, were scored against the likes of Northwestern, Harvard, Cincinnati, Michigan State. Multiple goals and assists against Texas A&M, both home and away. Rice, UC Santa Barbara, multiple goals and assists against them. Multiple goals and assists against Ohio State and Cal Poly. This university has had so many fantastic players, so many fantastic athletes. Being in this coaching world, we see a lot of players, and Nicole is one of the best that I've ever seen. So I'd like to bring her up here, one of the best that's ever laced up cleats here at the University of Dayton, Nicole Waters. 2 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for not roasting me too harshly there. I think all the athletes here and the players that went to UD did spend some time at Tim's, so it wasn't just me. Congrats, Jordan, Ashley, Zach, and Scoochie for being part of this year's Hall of Fame class. It's an honor, reading your guys' bios, and you guys were such talented athletes. I'm incredibly grateful to the University of Dayton committee for selecting me. There are so many people who played such an important role in my journey, not just to get here, but while I was here. So first, thank you to my mom and dad, my sister who couldn't be here, for supporting my soccer journey. Thank you to my coaches, Tucker, Brian, Tiffany, Steph, Coach D, countless volunteers who dedicated their time while they were here. Our strength coach, Toby, our athletic trainers, Cody and Stacy. There's so many people. As many of you now know, Ashley and I have been best friends since we were 13. We spent every winter back home playing together in Canada, shoveling snow to get the soccer balls out and play. We were incredibly lucky to continue on playing here at Dayton and eventually actually going to Czech and playing professionally as well. I have to give her a special thanks because, like our coaches have said, a lot of the goals that I scored, a lot of the goals she scored, we did that together. So going into the Hall of Fame together is truly special. Playing soccer at UD deepened my passion for the game. Our coaches allowed us to play with freedom, express our natural strengths as players. Whenever I played, I always felt confident on the field, never afraid to make a mistake. If you look at some of my statistics, I shot the ball a lot. Did not score as many goals as Ashley, and I think I still maybe shot the ball more than her. But my coaches still said, keep shooting. I remember every end of the year meeting, we still want you to keep shooting. You got to score more goals, Nicole. Fortunately for them, I like to pass the ball to other people and let them score. We were fortunate to have a coach who saw us as more than players. Coach Tucker and the rest of the staff made being at Dayton about more than just that. For example, whenever we traveled, Tucker always made sure that we explored the city or the town that we were visiting. One of my favorite trips was going to Rhode Island. We would do the mansion tours. We'd go out to eat together as a team. Really good lobster mac and cheese, if anyone hasn't had it yet. But those were really special moments for me, more than just being an athlete here. My love for the game and college athletics grew so much that in my senior year, I started coaching with a local club team and started exploring a potential career in coaching. While I was playing in Czech, Coach Steph reached out to me asking if I might be interested in becoming a graduate assistant coach. I said, I have to go back to school. Oh boy. But I did. So naturally, as my parents can tell you, I changed my flight from Prague to Toronto to Prague to Atlanta and headed straight to Mercer University, where I was a graduate assistant for 2 years. After that, I was 3 years as an assistant and head coach at Troy University. With that said, my experiences in college athletics deepened my appreciation for the behind-the-scenes work that the coaches and all the staff did for us while playing here. It's more than just about competing in soccer games, and it's about nurturing the development of young women. I know that Coach Tucker and the university provided immense support to the women's soccer program here at UD. Looking back, I am honored by the individual accolades that I received, but my greatest accomplishments will always be the accomplishments of the team. Winning the conference tournament in 2014 at Beaujean Field will forever be one of the most fun and exciting times of my life, as Ashley mentioned. The semifinal game is actually so clear in my mind still, because I remember feeling certain after that game we were going to win that year. We didn't even have to play the final game. I was like, we just won in overtime in the semifinals. We've done it. We've done it. And of course, we went on to beat LaSalle in the finals, which at that point was our biggest rival. And we went on to play in the NCAA tournament. With that said, I will forever cherish my time at Dayton, not just as an athlete, but as a player and a person. I'm incredibly honored to be going into the Hall of Fame 2025 class. Thank you, and go UD.
Those of us in the athletic department always talk about Hall of Fame Day as being a special day. This day has not disappointed, but we're not done. We're done here, but to give you a rundown of what we're doing after this, we'd like all the Hall of Famers to go to the back of the room where we'll start to take pictures. We'll take pictures of you as a group, you with your presenters, and then any other pictures you want with your families, with your teammates, whatever you want to do. We'll be here as long as we need to for that. We'll reconvene at the arena. Oh, by the way, I'll take your awards back because you're going to get them at the arena. Once we get to the arena, we'll need our Hall of Famers to report to the administrative offices on the concourse. Give you an idea of where it is. It's just up above the Dayton bench. And there's a graphic that is then and now. But we'll have people there to meet you and escort you down to the floor. At halftime, you will be introduced to the crowd as Hall of Famers. Larry Hansgen, our radio play-by-play guy, will introduce you. You'll get your award back. You'll walk across the floor, and you will be welcomed into the Hall of Fame by members of the Hall of Fame, current members of the Hall of Fame who are attending the game. We'll take a group picture, then you'll be free to go. So with all that said, it's time for pictures in the back. It's time to continue to enjoy ourselves, and go Flyers. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, for our Hall of Fame introductions, please welcome Larry Hansgen, the voice of the Flyers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the induction of this class of the University of Dayton Athletic Hall of Fame. Our first inductee is a trailblazer in Flyer athletics. Jordan Benjamin was the first University of Dayton tennis player to qualify to play in the NCAA Championship Tournament as an individual in 2018. He was ranked nationally as a junior and senior with the Flyers with a career best ITA ranking of 77. He announced his arrival to the University of Dayton in collegiate tennis with authority and was the Rookie of the Year in the Atlantic 10 in 2016. It only got better after that. He was the Atlantic 10's Men's Tennis Player of the Year twice, as a junior in 2018 and then in his senior year, 2019. In the history of the A10, only 5 players have done that. He was a 4-time first-team All-Atlantic 10 selection. Benjamin compiled a 70-24 career record. He played professionally until the pandemic shut down the pro tennis circuit in 2020. Hall of Famer, Jordan Benjamin. There's a thread of continuity that runs through our inductees, and that's winning. While Jordan Benjamin won in an individual sport, our following Hall of Famers played on some of the most successful teams in Flyer history. Hall of Fame coach Mike Kelly lovingly referred to his offensive linemen as the Big Uglies. Now, I'm not sure their moms or girlfriends appreciated the title, but the guys embraced it. Playing offensive line in college football requires intelligence, strength, agility, and once the ball's snapped, a little nastiness. Zach Klein embodied that as a 3-year starter at tackle, playing on teams that had a combined record of 37-5 with 3 Pioneer Football League championships, including the 1996 team, the last UD team to go undefeated at 11-0 and finishing 24th in the final NCAA Division I AA poll. Zach was a 2-time All-PFL selection and twice was a Football Gazette All-American. 2 quarterbacks who played behind Zach Klein were Brian Cadle, who led the nation in passing efficiency, and UD Hall of Famer Kevin Johns, the quarterback on that 11-0 1996 team. Coincidence? I don't think so. University of Dayton Athletic Hall of Famer Zach Klein. Ashley Campbell came to the University of Dayton in 2012, and by the time she graduated had etched her name into the Flyer women's soccer record book. Ashley is the UD career record holder in goals scored with 63, had 3 top 10 single-season goal totals in her 4 years, and is second in career points with 150. But again, she, like the others in this Hall of Fame class, is all about winning. Her Flyer teams were a combined 50, 27, and 7 with 2 A-10 championships, the regular season title in 2013 and the conference tournament in 2014. Ashley Campbell was a 2-time Atlantic 10 Offensive Player of the Year and a 4-time All-Conference selection. She's the only Flyer to have played in a World Cup, representing Canada in the 2014 Under-20 Women's World Cup. She then played professionally in Europe and Canada after graduating from UD. University of Dayton Athletic Hall of Famer, Ashley Campbell. How cool is it to have 2 teammates go into the Hall of Fame together? Nicole Waters, a teammate of Ashley Campbell, and thus shares the same collective accomplishments, 50 and 27 and 7 overall record, the 2 A-10 championships, the 2013 regular season, the 2014 conference tourney. But I should point out, it could have been more had the Flyers not suffered heartbreaking shootout losses in 3 conference tournaments. Nicole is the Dayton career record holder in assists with 54. She had the top 3 seasons for assists in 2013, 2014, and 2015. And when she graduated, had the 20th best assist total in NCAA history. 3-time first team All A-10, 2-time A-10 Midfielder of the Year, first team NSCAA Mid-Atlantic All-Region, and senior class All-American as a senior. After graduation, she played in the Czech Republic before going into coaching. University of Dayton Athletic Hall of Famer, Nicole Waters. Today's theme is all about winning, and Scoochie Smith is a winner. Scooch was the point guard of the winningest UD class and the only class to play in 4 NCAA tournaments, including the run to the Elite Eight in 2014 and part of the Magnificent Seven that beat Boise State and Providence in the 2015 NCAA tourney. His teams won 102 games and lost just 36. He was a 3-time captain and as a senior, first team All-Atlantic 10. Scooch scored 1,289 career points and is 6th all-time in assists at UD with 498 and 4th in steals with 172. He's tied with Chris Johnson for most career games as a Flyer, 138. His Dayton career may have ended in a defeat, but Scoochie went down swinging. 25 points, 4 assists, and 4 steals in a loss to Wichita State in the 2017 NCAA tournament. Subjectively, he's one of the greatest layup shooters in Flyer history, slithering through the lane to finish at the rim. I venture to say that Scoochie Smith could dribble through a car wash and make a layup without getting wet. Since graduating, he's played in Australia, Europe, and the G League, currently playing in Serbia. Welcome back, University of Dayton Hall of Famer, Scoochie Smith.
All right, fans, it's trivia time. Scan the QR code on the screen so you can play along.